Are you ready to go around the world? Sit back, relax, and buckle your seatbelt as we take off for an adventure. It's jet-lag-free but filled full of fun and travel insights. The only thing you'll need to pack is a sense of humor. Time for the award-winning travel show, Around the World.
And welcome to another edition of Around the World. Do you realize we're in year 20 of broadcasting around the world?
Gosh. Arthur has had this great thing going for 20 years. That's amazing. And he's not here today.
He's not. So Rebecca Brand is sitting in for him. Thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll hear where he is next time we have the show. But in the meantime, we have a packed show for you today. We have Gabe Saglie, who's coming to us from, well, he just got back from Ireland, and a fantastic arts festival that he's going to tell us about in Galway, which is in the western part.
Galway.
He'll tell us. Anyway, so he's going to share a video with us, and it sounds really fun. And then Doug Margerum and his wife Marty just got back from a almost 3-week-long trip to Spain and to Portugal. And I just got back from Spain, and I'm ready to jump back on the plane.
I can't wait to hear what he has to say about Spanish and Portuguese wines and the food. Oh my gosh, because he's a guy that knows that kind of thing. So
Doug Margerum makes some wonderful wine here in the valley. I'm going to be talking to you about Palm Springs, the Ariel Tramway, and also about a new hotel that just opened up near the El Paseo in Palm Desert. And then we're going to be going overseas the other way and going to Macau, well, I guess depending on which way you fly, but Arthur's going to be taking us to Macau. He had a recent trip there as well. It sounds very cool. It's like Las Vegas on steroids.
Now Macau, is that in China? Or is it separate China territory?
I believe it's owned by China. It used to be a Portuguese.
Okay, and it's like the first European and last European colony or something like that.
Yeah, big gambling mecca, and so we'll hear about that as well. But first, what we do every week is we share some travel news with you.
Travel news is brought to you by the internet website atw.tv. atw.tv is the first place to go, even to visit the last place on earth.
Okay, and travel news, by the way, everybody should know that you can see our shows broadcast on atw.tv. We also broadcast on Cox Cable throughout California. The show airs on Cox Cable and then through TVSB, and also we are on AM 1290 on Thursday mornings and again Saturday mornings, I believe. And so you really can't avoid us if you want to.
And Arthur has a YouTube channel that has the archived on Nipper AW YouTube channel. So he's got them there too.
Well, you get to be the first one to give us some travel news.
Oh, the travel news. Okay, so I was researching my homework assignment, bring some travel news, and I had noticed on Etsy.com these sayings that the hospitality industry is now using when they are. So if we can roll those pictures, I'll talk about those things because when you see them in writing, there's so much more. If at first you don't succeed, flush again. Potty rock star. Potty like a rock star. Please remain seated until the performance is finished. Isn't that funny?
That is
it's
funny.
like
so are these on
changing the role won't kill you, I promise. Don't go chasing waterfalls. And this is what hospitality centers, hotels, and cute boutique places will put up to kind of get their point across, which is tasteful and funny. Oh, no shaking the wiener. And that's like for our little doggy Polo. So these are, I thought this was so cute. Yes. What a nice way to keep the levity.
And get your message across.
And get the message across to keep the cleaning, a little more manageable, or to keep the plumbing costs. You got to flush.
Very funny.
Keep flushing until it flushes.
Okay, here's one that's, when you travel overseas, one big complaint from people is jet lag. And I find it easier to go, for example, to Europe and not get as jet lagged as I do necessarily coming back.
Really?
But
and is it scientific? It's a scientific thing about that, or what?
Yeah, I think it is. But interesting, Delta Airlines and Equinox, the gyms, apparently have created these workouts for people that are suffering from jet lag, and it's called sweat lag. And apparently, what they're saying is it's really important to work out. You feel better afterwards. It's good for you to get your circulation going. After sitting on a plane for hours.
So don't sleep it off, sweat it off.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, and they're saying that apparently they have 3 video guides. The videos that guide you through. They're just simple. They do upper body, lower body, and core.
So you just exercise along like the Jane Fonda videos.
Yeah, and they're available on the website. I think that if you just put in.
But you can't do it on the plane.
No,
you do it when you get to the hotel.
To the hotel, right?
Okay.
And you just want to put in the words.
Yeah, Delta. There. That's cool.
Yeah, and
look at that.
you can just put in the words Delta and Equinox.
I go flossing 1 minute.
And those are.
Well, he's got a simple hotel towel,
Yeah.
and he can work out with a hotel towel. Oh, I like that. The hopscotch squat.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
And then he touches the ground.
So it's just good, it's better than laying down and
I
going to
think
sleep.
watching videos, it really, it's motivating because you don't have to do it because you're private. They just tell you what to do. You can follow along and do it your own way.
That guy clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's in good shape.
It's not hard for him.
Yeah.
I bet he never gets jet lag.
Probably not. Okay, are you taking us swimming now?
Okay, yeah. So now we're going to go to the top 10 places in the world to go swimming because it's summertime and you want to go on vacation, and 71% of the world is made up of water. So because of that, there's some amazing natural places to go swimming. We're not talking pools here. We're talking places like the number 1 is Linapacan Island in the Philippines. It's not easy to get to, but they have the best snorkeling, one of the best snorkeling places in the world. So that's really cool.
I thought that snorkeling was good at the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, and well, number 7, Martha, you're skipping ahead.
Sorry.
Hana, not, well, yeah,
Okay.
I'll get to that one. Okay, number 2, the Maldive Islands. Well, when you have 1,200 islands, there might be some good swimming around and with easy access. So
And
that's why the Maldives
a long way
are
to
there.
go to get to good swimming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you're motivated, and then there's Dog Island, as in Polo Bull. That's our little mascot in Panama, and that's the indigenous people, the Guna Yala people, that maintain and preserve this island so well. It's postcard perfect. It had no crowds. It's this beautiful white sandy. And then there's Cayo Coco in Cuba, and unlike Dog Island, this is a popular vacation spot for tourists. It's got 2-tone aqua water, so that's probably what we're looking at. See the 2 tones? So you can be in those 2 tones. And then there's the Phi Island in Thailand. It's cheap food and drink. So in a place like that, you can go swimming, and it's inexpensive, and it's gorgeous as all get out.
Look at that. It's just
And then there's this one in Oregon.
It's gorgeous.
Okay, Oregon has Clear Lake, Oregon, and it's created from an ancient volcano, and it's surrounded by sheer cliffs, and the lake is a perfect color, deep blue, and it screams, "Come swim in me!" From a volcano in the west coast of USA. So that's kind of cool. Now, my favorite place, because it's the one I've been to, it's Hana Umma Bay in Hawaii. And the reason it's so great is it's a marine conservation place, and they have all the turtles and all the fishes, and you don't have to do much. If you just put I put those little floaties, and I stick my head in with the thing, so it's just very simple.
Yeah.
And it's not too deep. It's probably about 12, 15 feet deep.
Right.
And when I went there years ago, you could take a bag of frozen peas and just pop the peas into the fish's mouth, and they just loved it. Now I think they say, you can buy the feed that they sell there, but you can't bring your own. Then there's Menorca, Spain, and all these beautiful things. So anyways, I just suggest it's Huffington Post, 27 best place in the world to swim.
Cool. Thanks very much. Well, these elephants that I'm going to tell you about didn't get to go swimming because apparently water in South Africa is very scarce this time of year. So I want to show you this video. It's very cute. These 3 elephants showed up at this reserve.
Oh, look at that, Martha. I see them.
And they started drinking from the swimming pool. And if you look at it carefully, you see that the 2 people that are sitting there by the swimming pool
Are they
watching this,
sleeping?
they're not sleeping, but they're not moving. Because these are big elephants, and I think maybe they got a little angry that so they're literally not moving at all. Meanwhile, the elephants.
There's no video, but the one on the left looks like he's screaming at him.
Isn't that cool? I would be a little bit scared too.
That would flip me out.
That would be very scary. Anyway, that's it for travel news. And when we come back, we'll be talking to Gabe Saglie, who just got back from Ireland, and he's going to take us to this fabulous art festival that it sounds very, very cool. So
I love art festivals. I can't wait to see.
So stay with us. We're back on Around the World. I'm Martha Bull. Sitting in for Arthur von Wiesenberger today is Rebecca Brand.
Hi.
And I thank you. And on the phone right now with us is one of our very favorite travelers. You are on the road all the time, Gabe. Gabe Saglie of Travel Zoo is on the phone, and he's just gotten back from Ireland. Tell us.
Hello, ladies. Good to be with you. Yeah, you know, I'm lucky, as you folks know, that I get to go to Ireland every year for the last now 7 or 8 years to cover St. Patrick's Day in March. This was a chance to go back to Ireland to cover one of the great arts festivals in the world in the city of Galway, which is in the western stretches of Ireland. And this was one fantastic event. I mean, festivals are becoming, I think, generally more of a sort of a great selling point for destinations to use to lure people to their destination, because you've got multiple days of so many different things. Galway, this is the 40th year of the Galway International Arts Festival, and it was a fantastic time.
All kinds of art, or
yeah, what kind of art, Gabe?
All kinds of art. It's opera. It's one-man plays. It's
live art, live performance art,
artistic installations in the middle of town. It's poetry. It's paint. I mean, it's you name it. It's there. It's a comprehensive, eclectic. About 35% of the people there are foreigners. A lot of the Europeans, a lot of U.S. Travelers. Otherwise, it becomes a very sort of Galway-driven, Ireland-driven festival. But you've got acts from all over the world. The Flaming Lips performed there. Codaline, which is an up-and-coming rock group from Ireland, performed there to a sellout crowd. So you get a lot of big names and a lot of up-and-coming artists as well. They have lectures. The president of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, kicked off a lecture series that they had multiple philosophers and poets talking about the concept of home and what home means to the Irish and to anybody sort of in general. So no, it's really, you dabble, you can experience what you want throughout the course of the day. Galway is this beautiful, walkable city right on the shores there of Western Ireland, along what they call the Wild Atlantic Way. So when you're not doing the arts festival, you're eating, you are you're walking up these cobblestone streets and waiting for some musical act to pop up, Really colorful, very bohemian, very eclectic. Anybody who's been to Galway is nodding their head right now because it's one of these great, destinations in Europe, I think.
Now, I believe you did a little bit of a video for us. Is that right?
I did. I traveled throughout the festival and throughout that part of Ireland for a few days, actually, with a friend of mine, Paul Daniel, who was one of the big, great videographers out there in Ireland. Used to work for RTE, which is their version of like ABC or NBC or Fox. And now he kind of waits for me to show up, and we'll kind of travel and shoot together. So I wanted to show you this piece. It's about 3.5 minutes, but it sort of encapsulates what the festival is all about. And it launched right after the festival came to an end here just about 2 weeks ago.
Perfect. Okay, let's go to that tape.
Take a look.
In the city of Galway, an arts-fueled extravaganza. The 41st annual Galway International Arts Festival wraps up. 2 weeks and more than 200,000 visitors from all over the world. Feeding off the rich cultural heritage that defines this historic town in the west of Ireland, this annual feast for the senses featured more than 200 shows. Theater, music, lectures, visual arts, and spectacle, all peppered throughout Galway, and all as festive as they were family-friendly. In the heart of town, Ayr Square became an epicenter of eye-popping experiences. The Mira Coco Luminarium was a multi-sensory trip.
We are walking through the Mira Coco Luminarium. This is a giant inflatable sculpture and a geometric marvel. Each of these individual panels cut and glued together by hand. And the idea here is to immerse people in sound and color and glow, all of which is created by natural light seeping through all these individual panels. Very cool.
Nearby, year 2 of the People Build. This one a replica of Galway's St. Nicholas Cathedral using 9,000 pounds of cardboard. The vision of French artist Olivier Grostet and a collaborative community feat with hundreds of volunteers coming together to lift the structure in stages as it reached 75 feet.
One, and lift, gently, Okay, slowly, all together now.
Oh, wow.
Gravity and that famous Galway mist played their own role, but no matter. The planned culmination of this ephemeral work of art was the People Build Demolition, which itself was all about community collaboration. New this year, the Festival Garden at Ayr Square, where festival goers met and sipped and tasted throughout the day. At the Galway campus of the National University of Ireland, the Museum of the Moon by UK artist Luke German, 23 feet wide and the lunar surface in stunning detail. Using 120 DPI NASA imagery, each centimeter here equals 5 kilometers. So detailed, it almost looked 3D. And at the festival gallery across town, walking distance away, renowned artist David Mock's Rock and Roll, a large-scale installation featuring 166,000 newspapers, all meticulously placed by hand to simulate the motion of the rising tide. Among this year's world-class headliners under the famous Big Blue Top, international musical acts like Codaline, The Flaming Lips, and this sold-out show by Irish native Gavin James. On stage, poet Paul Muldoon's moving one-man play In Cantata, with rave reviews for leading Irish actor Stanley Townsend. And the new generation of circus contortions, Backbone, a 12-person show featuring a jaw-dropping, high-octane take on human strength, synchronicity, and death-defying thrills that kept audiences at the edge of their seats for the full 90-minute show. And Irish President Michael D. Higgins kicked off the first Thought Talks to a sellout crowd. This year's speakers, poets, authors, and philosophers tackling the idea of home. And then night fell, and the Birdmen arrived to take over the streets of Galway. Magical and hypnotic, these illuminated, larger-than-life skeletal pterodactyls showcase a type of spectacle that the Galway International Arts Festival is famous for. The festival returns for its 42nd run in 2019 for 2 weeks starting July 15th. Mark your travel calendars now.
Wow, that looked like so much fun, Gabe.
Yeah, and those Birdmen there, they just sort of appeared in the middle of, it was like 10 o'clock at night. and they just sort of made the corner there along Key Street, which is one of the main avenues there, sort of these pedestrian walkways there in Galway. And again, it speaks to that sort of spectacular aspect to a show like this. So 41st Festival, if you're looking for an excuse to travel to Ireland, especially because it's the middle of summer, you're looking at July, it's 2 weeks, and you can just do a couple of days and then do the rest. Maybe you're traveling the west of Ireland, the rest of the time. But anyway, great excuse to travel out to the Emerald Isle for sure.
And then if people want to find out information, is there a website for them to go to?
Yeah, it's the Galway International Arts Festival, GIAF. So, I think it's pretty easy to find once you're there. And in 2020, the EU named Galway the International City of Culture. So 2020 is going to be like what you just saw, but like all year long. They're already planning this like year-long type of one event after the other to celebrate. In the 60s and 70s, Galway became this haven for artists, and now there is this large contingency of artists who live in Galway or the county of Galway, and so again, this bohemian flair about the city is pretty pervasive. It's pretty, you no matter when you go, you can tell there's something pretty special going on there.
Spell Galway again, because I interrupted everybody.
Galway, it's Galway, Galway.
Okay.
So if you're in Dublin, you're about 2.5 hours away from Galway. You got to drive just straight west. I landed in Shannon, which is about an hour away on the west of Ireland. The beauty of Shannon Airport, it's a smaller airport, really easy to get in and out. Lines are a lot shorter. It was the first airport in the world that in 2009 introduced U.S. Customs pre-clearance, and which means that when you're leaving out of Ireland, out of Shannon Airport, you're doing customs there. You're getting your passport stamped. Everything's done there. So when you land in the States, whether it's Newark or JFK, wherever you're landing, you're basically a domestic passenger. You don't have to file with the lines into customs and deal with the long faces there. You've done it in Shannon, and then you're landing and you're making your connections easier. It's a beautiful thing. There are only a handful of countries that do it. Canada does it. Ireland does it, the United Arab Emirates, and then Bahamas, Bermuda, Aruba. That's it. And it's a great perk if you're at the end of your international travel, you just want to land in the U.S. and not have to haggle with customs. Shannon, again, premiered it in 2009, and it's just this. It's a beautiful thing. It makes traveling a lot easier. It makes ending a European trip in Ireland almost like a no-brainer. Even if you've been elsewhere, make like Shannon or Dublin your final destination in Europe, fly out of there, do pre-clearance your customs, and then you're not dealing with customs when you land back in the States.
Such a great idea. What a great tip, Gabe, and
Okay.
Right?
That's awesome. I love that. I'm going to do that.
There you go.
Thank you, Gabe. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but loved all your information about Galway, and hopefully someday we'll be able to go.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to be talking to Doug Margerum. He just got back from a fantastic trip to Spain and Portugal, and he'll tell us all about it. Stay tuned.
Okay.
The Unity Shop, celebrating 100 years of guiding low-income families to self-sufficiency. In times of disaster, no one responds to families in need like the Unity Shop. Immediate assistance with food and clothing, and long-term assistance providing anything disaster victims need to get back on their feet, all with compassion, with dignity, for as long as you need us. To find out more, log on to unityshop.org. Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
we're back on Around the World. I'm Martha Bull, sitting in for Arthur von Wiesenberger, who is around the world somewhere. Is Rebecca Brand. Thanks for
Hello.
Sitting
nice
in.
to see you all again.
And speaking of going around the world, Doug Margerum, who is very well known as a wonderful winemaker in the San Ynez Valley, just got back from a fantastic trip to both Spain and Portugal, and so he's joining us on the phone right now to talk about his recent trip. First of all, how long were you gone?
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hey Doug, welcome. How are you?
I'm watching you on the Facebook posting, and you look great. We were gone almost over 2 weeks. We had a great trip.
Good for you. I almost feel as though you don't want to go any less than 2 weeks, just because, and particularly you went to Barcelona, Bilbao, San Sebastian, Lisbon, and Mallorca. That's a lot of packing,
stops.
a lot of packing and unpacking.
Yeah, and as I was saying that, I got nutted by my wife Marty saying, it was 3 weeks, so I should correct that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what wives are for.
That's exactly right.
So you flew into Barcelona. What airline did you take?
We flew business class on Norwegian Air.
Yeah.
On a brand new Dreamliner. We kind of booked it kind of late because we're still sort of working out our lives with the flood. So we got these really good tickets on Norwegian Air, and we're reading reviews of it. But we really liked it. It was business class. It was very comfortable. The Dreamliner is a great plane. You land just completely refreshed, and the windows are big, and it's very quiet, and there's lots of oxygen. So we were very keen on that whole flight.
We did the exact same thing, but we flew from LA to London on Norwegian Air. And you're right, the lovely planes, but I will say that it was kind of hard to sleep for me because just the way the leg rest tilted. And we were up in business class too, so I think we just had. You've got longer legs, so maybe it's easier for you.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, we had the meal, and then I usually supplement my travel with Ambien.
There you go. Yeah, very good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your trip. Started in Barcelona.
Well, we went to Barcelona. We stayed at the Mandarin Oriental, and that's a great walking town, and just got our bearings and cruised around there. Then we actually flew up to San Sebastian, which we absolutely loved. We stayed at the Hotel Maria Cristina, and then ate the pintos, and then cruised around. I don't know if you've ever done the little pintos and pichos, and I forget how they're. It's a little white wine, and it's called chaculi, and it's spelled T-X-A-K-O-L-I. And chaculi, and that's what you drink. It's a really light white wine, sort of almost a little bit frizzante, and the pintos are just insane at these little tapas bars in San Sebastian. So we didn't really eat a lot of big meals there. We just cruised around and ate these little plates of food. You walk into the little bars there, and they have laid out, mushrooms and shrimps and all these great little tiny plates, and you sort of just pull plates off the bar and eat them.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, so you can see what looks appetizing before you, I get to see what I'm going to eat. This one looks good.
Exactly.
That one looks good.
Yeah, you can see it all beforehand and just sort of pick out what you want. And there's, they all are competing against each other, and really good casual eating with that fun wine. And then we went over to Bilbao. We actually went to a little village outside of Bilbao, which I'm not going to remember the name of it, but we stayed at the hotel in Embarcadero, right on the beach there, and we really love to walk, and so we did this great hike that was at this it's a little church out on a very, very long peninsula that you hike down these 1,000 steps, and you hike out to the church over this very narrow rock bridge, and then you ring the bell 3 times, and all your wishes are granted.
That's so romantic. I hope you kissed your wife at the time and said, "You ring my bell, darling."
Absolutely. And it's just, I think I sent you a picture of that as well. It was called Getxo. It's a Getxo, but it's actually pronounced Getxo.
And so, how fun was it to go back up those steps?
It was really, really hard. It was hot,
After drinking wine, I don't know how you did it, Doug.
No, it was crazy. It was super, super hard.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And then we flew to Lisbon. We spent a night in Lisbon to sort of catch our bearings. But
what's Lisbon like? I might go there very soon.
Lisbon is booming, and it's a really young population. We got there the night they lost the World Cup. We lost in the World Cup, so there was a lot of sad young people walking around.
Yeah.
But thank God they lost. Otherwise, we would have just been in a nightmare of celebration.
And Doug, I know you're in the food world. Do you know that the #1 producer of videos in the food genre, those 1-minute tasty videos, has their studios in Lisbon?
I didn't know that, and I love those videos.
Yes, and that's where they're created. You are in ground central of Lisbon, food creator, tasty studio, right there.
Oh, that's great. Well, we really spent just sort of to catch our breath, because we went out to a little resort called Sublime Comporta, which is out in this little seaside village of Comporta, and we stayed at this hotel was just spectacular, and we just sort of really relaxed there for 3 or 4 days and had a nice time, just with a great pool and great restaurant. And
aren't the prices pretty good in Portugal?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
The rest of Europe.
The thing I've always wanted to say in a restaurant is, bring me your best wine. And you could say that in almost any restaurant in Portugal, and you wouldn't pay more than probably 15 or 20 euros.
Wow.
The wine and the food are really, really inexpensive and really, really good.
Yeah.
The check averages, we're in the Hamptons right now, and we ate at 11 Medicine Park, their little summer house out here, and it's a big, big bill. And, we ate at some of the best restaurants we could, in both in Barcelona and in Portugal, and the bills were very small, and the food was really great.
And the one thing because my husband and I just got back from Spain, and one thing that I noticed about Spain, one of my highlights was that you didn't eat dinner until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
I know, it's pretty neat. You get used to that pretty quick. I mean, it stays light so late, and you just have to, you go out later, you sleep in later, and
take a little
you kind of
siesta.
got used to it.
Yeah.
We didn't take the siesta like everyone else did, but you kind of have to, because all the shops close
right
in the late afternoon, and everyone goes home and relaxes in the hot part of the day.
Yeah.
That's sort of a neat thing, and I think for Americans that's sort of the first sort of interesting thing. You can't go out to dinner at 7 or 8.
No.
You have to go out to dinner at 9 in your early.
Right.
That's the blue plate special time.
Yeah.
But we actually went out when we landed in Lisbon. Our flight was delayed, and we finally got into our hotel, and we said, we're going to be late for our reservation. I think we walked after we took a cab to sort of the wrong restaurant. We walked to the restaurant. It took us about a half an hour to get down there. I think it was 1 a.m, and they were just packed.
Yeah.
And
1 a.m, they're packed?
Packed.
Oh my gosh.
And people were eating and drinking and having a great time, and not even a worry that we weren't even close to them closing. It's hilarious.
It's wild. But it's in Spain we noticed it's like when we were in Malaga, they're very family oriented, it seems, and it's like multi-generational people. Multi-generations come out together, dressed lovely, and eating dinner all together late into the night.
It's funny, Martha. I noticed that too. They dress their children so beautifully, and a lot of big family tables, and exactly. They all eat together, and like we do. Some of us do in California. We spend a lot of time at the table, and there's no better place. Absolutely no better place.
I couldn't get my kids out of T-shirts. I wanted to see that so they could get inspired.
Yeah. So you went from Lisbon to Mallorca, right?
Yeah, but we also drove up to the Douro Valley, because I have a buddy who is part of the Symington family, and so we went and saw some of his properties. We did some wine business and saw some of his port properties in the Douro Valley. So we got a little bit of that going on, and then we flew to Mallorca, and Mallorca was stunning. We loved Mallorca. That was probably the highlight of the whole trip. The little town of Palma de Mallorca where we landed was very cool, super busy, great shops. We stayed at a little hotel that was very inexpensive, and then we spent the last 4 days of the trip out at the Hotel Caprocat, out in sort of, I guess it would sort of be called southeast of Palma de Mallorca, and it's an old castle that has been converted into a hotel, and it was just luxurious and stunning. I think I sent some pictures along with that too. And there was just swimming in the ocean and hanging out by the pool, and it was a good way to end the trip, because it was a little bit of the 20 European capitals in 10 days, but we don't generally travel that way, but it was sort of part business and part pleasure. But we definitely ended up in the last part of the trip with a nice, relaxing time in this beautiful hotel.
Well, good for you. Thank you so much, Doug. We have unfortunately run out of time, but we look forward to seeing the pictures, and look forward to seeing you back in Santa Barbara when you head back west.
And to toast your trip.
Great. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Doug.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye, Doug.
Bye.
Bye.
So when we come back, I'm going to be talking to you about Palm Springs, Palm Desert. I'm going to tell you about the aerial tram that I took for the first time ever. And it's been there for a long, long time. So stay with us.
The Colossus of Rhodes, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Just tune in to the award-winning travel show Around the World, live on Thursdays on AM 1290 and at www.atw.tv, with rebroadcasts on Thursdays at 8 p.m. and again on Saturdays at 10 a.m. for the only list that really stands out and can stand the test of time.
We're back on Around the World. I'm Martha Bull. Arthur von Wiesenberger is on location and on assignment right now, so sitting in for him is the lovely Rebecca Brand. Thank you for sharing the seats with me, sharing the airplane.
It's fun to be here.
And I was saying that my husband and I often travel down to the desert, Palm Desert, to visit my mother-in-law. And recently we actually went and stayed with some friends who have a lovely home there as well. And they came up with the idea that we should go and check out something that we have driven by year after year after year and never ever did, and that was the aerial tram. And that's something you'll see the signs to get off, when you're on the I-10, and it's super simple to get to. I think it costs like $26.95.
And how long a ride is it? And how much elevation do you go?
It's only about a 5 or 10 minute ride up. And you do go quite a ways. You go from, it was 100-degree weather on the valley floor, and by the time you got up to the top, it had dropped 25 degrees. So it's a great place to go in the summertime.
Amazing.
And what's super duper about it is that they have so much wonderful hiking. Unbelievable hiking, because when
you get to the top,
you get
to look. Ridges, and you do horizontal hikes, Martha, or are you doing
you just do
difficult hikes?
No, it's a simple hike. It's just you just make sure you wear the right shoes, which of course I didn't. I was in flip flops, but it was still fine. And then they also have a couple of restaurants up there. They have the Peaks, which is the more formal restaurant, and it has kind of a nice view. Not so much down into the valley, but just looking up at the beautiful trees, and it's just so special.
So they have enough people to support restaurants at the top.
Lots and lots of people are up there, and then actually you can bring your camping gear and camp overnight up there. Or in the winter,
they have campsites. You can bring your steaks and your coolers, and you can barbecue and things like that.
I don't know if you can You probably, we didn't get over to that part of it because we weren't going to be camping, but I suspect you can. You'll have to check all the rules because they're pretty careful. One thing you can't do is bring dogs, which was too bad because it would be nice. It would be nice to be able to walk the dogs up there because it really is just a majestic place. But the Peaks restaurant that we ate at, super duper. I mean, white linen.
We're seeing the picture here.
No, that's just a generic desert scene. Well, we'll be seeing some pictures soon. We had a little bit of a glitch on getting them into the computer, but there are some. Just the whole thing was so magical, and just going up on the tram itself, you probably fit about I guess maybe 50 people in each tram, and they go every 20 minutes, and you pass one tram as it's going and coming.
Do you stand?
Yeah, and you stand. And what's interesting is probably maybe 20 years ago they changed the tram, and now it rotates as you're going up. So you get to see the view all the way around, which is really cool. So
you're not stuck. The one person stuck looking the opposite way can be trouble.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's very nice. It's great. Like I said, they also have a cafeteria at the top. We didn't eat there. We ate at the Peaks. They had fantastic service. The food was really good. I would highly recommend it. And we didn't. And we thought it probably would be more expensive, and it was surprisingly not that expensive. So I think it's really reasonable. But what I started to say is I think it's like $26, $27 for an adult. They do have senior prices, and then it's less for kids, and it's a great place to take kids.
How long does it take you? How many minutes? From bottom to top on the tram, like how long is a tram ride?
Between 5 and 10 minutes, I think. I kind of forget, but it's just the perfect amount of time. You go one revolution, and you're going way straight up. And
really, is it kind of scary?
I mean, if you're not a fan of heights, you might want to be on the inner circle of it. But yeah, so anyway, it was fun. And then the other thing that was new for us down in Palm Desert was a new hotel opened probably within the past 3 or 4 months. It's called the Hotel Paseo. And it's literally right just in the El Paseo, which is a very popular shopping area in Palm Desert. And this hotel is really hip, cool, boutique-y kind of thing. So many fun things on the wall art-wise. We didn't stay at the hotel, but I did check the prices, and I think in the summertime you can spend about $125 a night, which is reasonable, but it's hot. But they do have a nice swimming pool there as well. And then I think in high season it's about $250 a night.
And still can be quite reasonable in beautiful summer weather in the cold of winter everywhere else.
Exactly, and you can walk to just about any of the great shops on the Paseo, and you can also there's some really good restaurants very nearby. As a matter of fact, we ate at the restaurant at the hotel. It's called AC3, and apparently a very famous chef opened that. And the foods, I would describe it kind of as kind of nouveau American comfort food. And it's the restaurant
like mac and cheese.
Yeah, but it takes it to a whole new level.
Oh, and look at that! That's a food shot, huh?
Yeah,
oh, that looks delicious.
So the food was really yummy and really kind of
healthy. Is that healthy too?
It definitely seems as though most of it's healthy. They have a nice bar, and then of course you wouldn't want to sit outside in the summertime, but in the wintertime they have a nice patio as well. And they also have this, in the back of the hotel, they have this cute Airstream sitting there, and you can go and sort of sit underneath the awning in front of this Airstream.
Really?
And apparently they also have events going on, like if they have like a big dinner or a reception or a cocktail party, they'll do it around that Airstream, so it's kind of fun. Pool area looked really fun.
Did they intentionally go retro in the styling? It looks like it's very 50s.
Yes, it definitely seemed like but very crisp, clean, retro stuff like that. But anyway, I would recommend checking it out. I did check. It's important for me to know whether or not you can bring your dog, and they are dog friendly. They say the dog can't be more than 50 pounds. And you do pay a one-time fee of $150 for a pet fee to bring your dog. So that's what it is. And like I think I've mentioned some of these restaurants before, but if you're heading out to Palm Desert, one that I would definitely recommend would be the Pacifica seafood restaurant that's upstairs in the El Paseo. Great seafood, good service. A little bit difficult for hearing because it's big,
Loud,
kind of
acoustics
cavernous.
are
Yeah,
okay.
and there's also a wonderful Italian restaurant just across the street from that one, the Pacifica, just a little down. It's called Il Corso. And they have small patio seating, so in the winter time or when it's cool enough, you can definitely sit outside there, and you can bring your dogs, which is nice. And then they have a beautiful dining room, great food, fresh, open. They actually have a bunch of the fresh food sitting there, about to be prepared between you and the kitchen. And then they also have a really fun bar area, and they have a bar menu. So if you don't want to do the more formal, but those would be
casual,
two of my
enjoy.
two of my recommendations. So
They sound great.
yeah. Any
Sounds like
questions?
a
I'm
really
wondering
nice
if we have
trip.
any questions from people.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's take a look here.
As you may know or not know, we actually air this on Facebook Live so people can see the show happening, and we're just wondering if anybody is interested and has any questions for me. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for that little trip. But I would highly recommend the aerial tram. You won't go wrong. And if you have like grandkids or kids,
oh my
super
goodness,
duper
what
duper.
a fun thing to get. And she actually brought a map to show me, which is so fun.
Yeah.
So you can probably get these online too.
No, they give it to you when you.
But if somebody wanted to, like me, plan my trip and to see the times and all the stuff about it, I could go to palmsprings.com or something.
Yeah, and be on there.
It says Palm Springs Ariel Tramway.
There you go.
All right.
So that's going to wrap it up. And when we come back, we're going to be taking you to Macau. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sometimes people fall on hard times. There are lots of families in our community that can't afford to feed their families. That means kids go to school hungry, and their parents don't even know where the next meal will come from. The Unity Shop treats these families with respect, allowing them to shop in the free food store for stuff their families like and use.
Right now, we are desperately in need of funds to buy turkey and chicken for families who will go without this holiday season. If you can help, please go to unityshop.org.
We're back on Around the World. I'm Martha Bull, Rebecca Brand, sitting in for Arthur von Wiesenberger, who will be back in a couple weeks.
And what you want to say is fine.
And he like we said, he is not here today, but he did recently travel a little while ago to a place that we've heard of, but I've never been.
What's that place called, Martha?
It's called Macau. Macau. So let's take a look and see what Arthur got for us.
Macau is about 6,000 miles from Los Angeles, and one can either fly into their local airport via Hong Kong or take the ferry.
Well,
here we are on Turbojet. You can hear the jet taking off. This is made by Boeing, and I guess they got this from the airline business because you got your own seatbelt. And also this from the airline business in case it gets a little rough. We'll soon find out. Anyway, still a category typhoon out there, and this is typhoon number 8. So it'll be interesting to see how it gets into Macau. Keep my fingers crossed. There are high-speed ferries from Hong Kong and Kowloon, as well as direct from Hong Kong International Airport. It's a 70-minute ride, and even in bad weather, the Turbojet ferry was fairly smooth and enjoyable. Macau is a 10-square-mile city, formerly a Portuguese colony, and today a special administrative region of China. Macau is best known as the Las Vegas of China for casino gambling, and recent reports indicate that Macau makes more revenue from casino gambling than Las Vegas. Sheldon Adelson's Venetian is a 39-story hotel casino on the Cotai Strip. It is one of the largest buildings in the world with over 10 million square feet under roof. There are about 3,000 hotel rooms and suites, 500,000 square feet of casino, making it the world's largest casino, a spa, a plastic surgery, and medical clinic. At the Venetian's Cotai Arena, performers from Lady Gaga and Beyoncé to NBA basketball teams entertain. And at St. Mark's Square, singers, jugglers, and acrobatic dancers perform to the amazement of their Chinese visitors and their smartphone cameras. The Venetian has over 30 restaurants, 330 Grand Canal shops, and 3 water canals, even with Chinese gondoliers singing Italian opera.
And if you haven't lost all your money in the casino, you can always toss a few of the remaining coins right down here in the Venetian Canal.
Also on the Cotai Strip is the Wynn Palace, built in front of an 8-acre lake with dancing fountains like Bellagio in Las Vegas. One of the ways to get to the Wynn Palace is by boarding the Ariel Tramway, which glides above the lake past Golden Dragons. But unless you are a hotel guest, it's a one-way ride, requiring the visitor to pay for the return trip or walk through the maze of shops and casinos.
I'm just going to keep going.
If you have card,
What's that?
room card.
I don't have a room card.
So I think you cannot. You must be.
Oh, I have to come, get out, and I start again?
Yeah.
There are approximately 350 gaming tables, of which 60 are for VIPs. Gambling is different in Macau. In Las Vegas, it's entertainment. But in Macau, the gamblers look at it as an investment. They're much more serious. You won't hear the laughter, see the drinking, or other distractions in the Macau casinos. Minimum bets are at least triple in Macau. A hand of blackjack starts at $40. The gambling tables in Macau pull in 7 times more money than Las Vegas. Also on the Cotai Strip is Adelson's newest casino resort, the Parisian. Centered in front of the 525-foot Eiffel Tower, which is half the size of the original one in Paris, there's a lift which takes guests up to an impressive view of the Strip and beyond. The hotel has 3,000 rooms and has extensive French architecture-inspired designs. There are mansard roofs, marble balconies, and even a replica of the Place de la Concorde with fountains. Rula Vulcano is a narrow pedestrian street in Villa de Taipa, a historical village in the shadow of the large Cotai casinos.
Here, one can savor some of the traditional Macau street foods, from almond cakes, egg rolls, to egg custard tarts. One can also savor the 450 years of Portuguese heritage and realize that Macau was the first and last European colony in China. And this is the Four Seasons and their next door neighbor casino, the Plaza Casino. The hotel is definitely full of luxury suites at affordable prices. So let's go and check it out. The 19-story hotel has rooms and suites with contemporary elegance, 55-inch LED televisions, and fast Wi-Fi. Junior suites have 861 square feet of space, including a dining room table, lounge area, and impressive views of Cotai. 3 restaurants include Vulcano, which offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffets. The breakfast buffet includes all the traditional fare, including fresh juices, salads, local and European cheeses and charcuterie, congee with traditional condiments, an extensive noodle bar, 4 flavors of ice cream. Yes, ice cream for breakfast. Pastries, including a chocolate-filled one that looks like a burger, and the famous Macau egg tartlet. There are also Indian curries and papadums, dim sum, and did I mention ice cream? Yeah, perfect for me, but not for everybody. From spectacular stores and exotic restaurants to luxury hotels and mega casinos, friendly staff and exciting attractions should help maintain Macau as something very unique in China for well into the future.
From that, I mean, it's like a mini it's a double Las Vegas, larger than Las Vegas.
Las Vegas on steroids.
Yeah. Wow, that was beautiful video.
Yeah, very cool. And I mean the gambling and the fact that it was Portuguese and it still has that flavor and the food looked wonderful. My stomach started rumbling.
And $40 minimum at the blackjack tables. Well, you don't want to go there to practice. Practice somewhere else, and then you go there when you're hoping to win big time. And then the trams, the different trams of how to get around that they, just we were talking about during the video. You can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave without paying to get out.
Exactly.
That was kind of a good trick they played.
Well, Arthur did a great job on that. It was very enticing and it looked fun.
Yeah.
Really a lot of fun. Well, speaking of fun, we've had an awful lot of fun on the show today. We went around the world. Gabe took us to Ireland, and Doug Margerum took us to Spain and Portugal, and I took you a little closer to home, Palm Springs and Palm Desert.
We had our own tram ride with you, Martha, going into Palm Desert.
I still think that was very fun, and I highly recommend it. And of course, thank you to Arthur for giving us that thing about Macau. Wanted to thank Michael Nicholson and Ken Baxter. They're the behind-the-scenes folks that keep us running and keep the tapes going and getting all the pictures up and everything. And Nadia Bernardi, who helps us with our Facebook page and also helps produce the show, so we wanted to thank her as well.
It's so nice
and before you know it, we'll be back, but in the meantime, have a safe trip wherever you go.
Around the world.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for traveling with us today on Around the World. We hope you'll join us for another adventure next week. In the meantime, all of us at Around the World wish you happy trails.